Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Flanagan. Welcome to this week's edition of What's Going Around. You know the drill. Every week we speak with doctors or medical care providers. I'm going to do that again. My bad. Do it one more time. Here we go. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Flanagan. Welcome to DC News Now's What's Going Around. Every week, we speak with doctors or healthcare providers around the DMV, around the region, to find out what's happening, what they're seeing, and what's going around. And I think this week, really a timely topic. We're going to talk to the folks of the American Red Cross about a severe blood donor shortage, and it's so imperative to get the word out, especially this week, middle of the winter. Deborah Fleming joining us. Deborah, great to see you. Deborah, you're the executive director for the Greater Shenandoah Valley chapter. Thanks for coming out. I really appreciate you taking some time.
Thank you, Chris, and thanks for having us.
Yeah, you bet. And now Lynn is on as well. Lynn Altsizer, the Biomed Accounts Manager. We'll get to Lynn in a moment. But Deborah, I wanted to start with you. We are now really in the thick of winter. What are you seeing regionally and across the country when it comes to blood donors and the severe shortage?
Well, the American Red Cross has declared a severe blood shortage after the national supply of blood has dropped by nearly 35% in recent weeks. Hospital demand still remains high, and patients are depending on donors right now.
And why are we seeing, or why is American Red Cross seeing such a shortage in donors right now?
Well, the winter is the most challenging time for blood supply due to severe weather, several illnesses, and shorter daylight hours. They disrupt blood drives and donor turnout. Even though patients are still needing blood, the needs never slow down, but support does oftentimes.
And Deborah, is this winter any worse than last winter, or is there a reason that you're seeing perhaps more donors not coming out?
Snowstorms and extreme cold have forced many cancellations, more than 400 blood drives in December. That's more than triple last year. And then that resulted in over 10,000 uncollected blood and platelet donations across the country. The recent storm Fern has increased that number to 500 cancellations of blood drives. And because the weather is so cold this year, we do expect more of that to continue.
How do you plan to make up for that, or can you make up for that?
That's a good question. Some of that we will not be able to make up for, but we're doing everything we can to reschedule those blood drives and to get as many people out there as possible to make that up as quickly as we can.
Mm-hmm. And Deborah, I know the flu. There's Lynn. Lynn, hello. Lynn Altsizer, the Bioaccounts Manager. We'll have Lynn jump in here for the American Red Cross. If somebody's going to come out and donate blood, what should they do to prepare? What do they need to do?
Well, first and foremost, we would encourage them to make an appointment. They can use the Red Cross Blood Donor app or visit the redcrossblood.org or even give us a call at 1-800-RED-CROSS. First, we would like to encourage them to get a good night's rest before their donation, enjoy healthy meals that are iron enriched, and to please be hydrated when they come for their donation. Complete the Rapid Pass, which is the pre-donation reading and some health history questions, and bring your donor card or your driver's license and a list of current medications for the registration and health check.
And Lynn, what type of blood right now are you most in need of?
Well, at this time, type O group blood is the highest in demand, and especially O negative, because during any type of emergency, O negative is the first blood type that our emergency rooms reach for. But right at the moment, we are asking any and all donors, type O, A negative, and B negative, to come out and donate and consider a Power Red donation. It's those Power Red donations that help the trauma victims, mothers in childbirth, and patients battling cancer and sickle cell disease.
Yeah, so important. Hopefully this will spark some people who, perhaps some viewers who haven't donated before, or maybe it's been a while, to come out. They see your urgent message. Who may donate blood? I know there are some people and some groups of people who cannot, but who can donate blood?
So anyone that is healthy and are at least 17 years old or 16 with a parent consent form in most states, at a minimum weight requirement of 110 pounds, and you are feeling well and are healthy. So anyone and everyone can come out and donate.
And Lynn, what if somebody does want to donate, but perhaps they have low iron or perhaps anemia? What do you tell them?
Sure. If your iron is low at the time of your donation, we will temporarily defer you and provide you with some information to help improve those iron levels so you can donate in the future.
How about a couple questions? What if you're pregnant or you've had cancer recently? Are they eligible? Are those people eligible to donate?
Sure. If you are pregnant, we ask that you wait until after your delivery and you have a full recovery before donating, and obviously always check with your primary care provider. Now, if you have had cancer or currently have cancer, many cancer survivors do donate because they know the importance of blood donations. So, depending on the type of cancer and how long it's been since their treatment, often there is a 12-hour month waiting period. So, that waiting period ensures the safety for both the donor and for the patient receiving the blood.
And Lynn, what about somebody who smokes marijuana? You know, recently, or smokes it occasionally. Are they eligible to donate blood for the American Red Cross?
Yes, they are.
They are.
So marijuana does not disqualify someone as long as they are not impaired at the time of their donation.
Okay. I've heard over the years people who I know who've had tattoos, and they said, I'd like to donate, but I don't think I can because I've gotten a tattoo. Is that an old wives' tale, or is that true?
Well, that is misinformation.
Okay.
So if you received a tattoo in a licensed or regulated facility using sterile equipment, there is no waiting time.
Okay. Okay, great. No waiting time. What about people who've traveled internationally? Is there waiting time for that? Come back and wait until you donate?
So some international travel may require a waiting period. A lot of that depends on where you traveled to, how long you stayed there, and what was your potential exposure to risk. So usually that's a deferral time frame of maybe a couple months.
Got it. Okay, good to know. Deborah, I want to ask you, we are in the thick of flu season right now. How does flu or the common cold, RSV, whatever you have, how does that impact donations for the American Red Cross?
Well, the flu season is sidelining potential donors because people who are sick or recovering need to wait until they're well before donating. So while donor turnout drops, hospital demand does not. And with hospitals already strained by one of the worst flu seasons in 20 years, it's making it harder to rebuild that national blood supply to ensure patients have the blood they need.
Yeah, I bet. And if somebody comes in and donates, how much can one donation help, and how many lives potentially could they help save by just one single donor?
Well, one donation can save up to 3 lives. And the reason for that is it's by separating the red cells for trauma and surgery, platelets for cancer and blood disorder patients, and plasma for people with burns or have other medical needs.
Got it. And if somebody does have the flu or gotten over the flu recently, how long do they have to wait until they can make a blood donation?
You may donate once you are fever-free and feeling well and symptoms have fully resolved.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, good to know indeed. Deborah, what is the term, when doing some research, I've heard deferred donor. What exactly does that mean if you're a deferred donor?
If you're a deferred donor, that means that you are someone who is temporarily or permanently unable to donate due to eligibility guidelines. But it is important to note that many deferrals are temporary.
Okay. And what would some reasons be for someone to get a deferral?
They have low iron levels at the time of donation, a recent illness, certain medications, their travel history, and any recent procedures.
Okay. And Deborah, just take us through the process. You come in, you make a donation. How does that blood help someone? Where does it go? What's the next step, in helping perhaps save 1, 2, 3 lives?
Yeah. The American Red Cross collects, then tests, processes, and distributes donated blood to about 2,500 hospitals nationwide. Blood is separated into the red cells, the platelets, and the plasma to maximize their use. Every donation is screened for infectious diseases, and specialized collection methods like Power Red allow donors to give specific components. Donations are safely transported then to hospitals, helping patients in emergencies, surgeries, and chronic conditions. And then the Red Cross handles nearly 4.5 million whole blood donations and over 1 million platelet donations each year.
Wow. And how many do you handle there in the greater Shenandoah Valley?
You know what? I don't know if I can answer that question right now.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot, and I know you all are doing wonderful work. Can you just explain the difference between each blood type? There's several different blood types. Just explain a little bit the differences of each.
Yeah, blood types are determined by specific antigens and Rh factors, which affect who can safely receive each donation. Some types can only receive certain blood, while others, like O negative, can be given to nearly anyone. So the current blood shortage is especially serious for platelets and O types, type O and A negative and B negative blood. So donors with O, A negative, and B negative blood are encouraged to make a Power Red donation where it's available.
Okay. And what does it mean if somebody has a rare blood type? What is that?
Rare blood types are uncommon but critically important for patients who need an exact match. Most donors don't know that they have a rare blood type until they donate, which is why it's so important for as many people as possible to give blood. That way we can help identify and provide life-saving matches for patients with those rare blood types.
All right. And Lynn, I'd like to get back to you. What if you're on medication? What types of medication could disqualify somebody from donating blood?
So, most medications do not prevent donations. Eligibility depends on why the medication is prescribed. So, that is why it's always important for you to bring your list of your medications and even over counter medications to be reviewed by the staff member during your health history.
Okay. Even something like aspirin, that's okay?
Yes, generally aspirin does not affect a whole blood donation.
Okay, that is good to know. But bring in a list is always important. I'm sure they ask for it when you donate.
Yes,
Yeah, and there's quite a bit of, I imagine, a questionnaire, right, that they go through
yes, that
for
will,
every.
some of that information is covered during when you complete the rapid pass the day of your donation.
Okay, great. And can you do it day of, or do you recommend people go online and sign up and get all that info out of the way ahead of time?
Correct. So your rapid pass needs to be completed the day of your donation. So we have the most current information.
Okay, day of. Good to know. Great information. All right, Deborah, for someone who has never donated before, they may be a little hesitant, maybe a little nervous about needles. What's a procedure like? What would you tell them?
Well, the process includes registration, a brief health screening, the donation itself, and a short recovery period with refreshments. So the first step is upon arrival at the blood drive or donation center is the registration, where individuals provide their name and ID. And then the second step is the health history, where potential donors will be asked questions during a private and confidential interview about their personal health history and places they've traveled. It will also include a mini physical where staff check temperature, hemoglobin, blood pressure, and pulse. Now, what's kind of neat is the Red Cross is now using an automated devices to measure your temperature, blood pressure, pulse rate, and hemoglobin to ensure accuracy of your pre-donation health screening. So there's no more finger sticks that you
Oh,
have to
good.
worry about. And then the third step takes donors to the donation chair, where we collect the blood that is donated. Staff will clean the donor's arm, following by a quick pinch. The bag of will start filling. And that only takes about 8 to 10 minutes. When approximately a pint of blood is collected, the donation is complete, and the staff member will place a bandage on the arm. And then the final step is the refreshments. Donors will enjoy snacks and water or juice for about 10 to 15 minutes before leaving the drive of the donation center.
So how long is it from the moment you park your car, go in, do the registration, go through the whole donation process, and you're back in the parking lot? How long roughly does it take?
Yeah, so a whole blood donation takes about 1 hour. That's with the blood only being 8 to 10 minutes. Now, if you are giving Power Reds, that's about an hour and a half. And then the platelets take about 2.5 to 3 hours.
Okay, and how often can somebody donate blood?
Um, you can donate whole blood every 56 days, up to 6 times a year. Platelets, you can donate every 7 days, up to 24 times a year, and Power Red every 112 days, up to 3 times a year.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. During a typical donation, how much blood is drawn?
Typically, a pint of blood, of whole blood or Power Red donations, is drawn during a blood.
Okay. And how long before the body starts replenishing the donated blood?
The plasma is replaced within 24 hours, and red blood cells are within a few weeks.
Okay. Sounds good. How does somebody typically feel? If you haven't done it before, just tell us a little bit of what they feel like afterwards. Are they lightheaded? They feel okay? What's it typically like after?
Yeah, most donors feel fine and return to normal activities that very same day.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad. And then what about exercising? Do you kind of hit the brakes a little bit and wait a while, or can you jump right back in and start, sweating it out?
Well, light activity is fine the same day. You just want to not be in strenuous exercise mode for at least 24 hours. You also want to make sure you avoid alcohol and stay hydrated as well.
Okay, good to know. Hydration, of course, is key. And Lynn, what tests are performed on the blood once a donor, does donate?
Yes, so the first test that is done is we do confirm the blood type, and the blood is tested for any type of infectious diseases to ensure that the blood is safe to the recipient receiving it.
Okay, great. Any type of incentives right now? I know the Super Bowl is coming up, and the American Red Cross ran a great promotion. If you donate, you're eligible for the drawing for some tickets out to Santa Clara. What type of incentives are you doing right now?
So for the month of February, all the donate will receive a $20 e-gift card to a merchant of their choice. So if you'd like to have, excuse me, more information about which merchants you can choose from, you can visit redcrossblood.org/heart to see that list of merchants.
Okay, great. Now, is this something you do more so in the winter time to kind of attract more donors, or is that a year round where you do different type of promotions?
We have many promotions throughout the year, everything from gift cards to Super Bowl tickets, movie tickets, T-shirts, socks. So yes, we have a lot of nice incentives for our donors.
All right, get a lot of merch there. We
Yeah.
like that. Um, and how long is it, and when can you see the results of the tests performed on your blood?
So usually a couple weeks after your donation and after everything, your donation's been tested, we will provide the results of your testing through either Red Cross Blood donor app, or you can go online and sign in to the donor portal for your results.
Okay, sounds good. Lynn, I do want to ask about sickle cell disease. I know it disproportionately affects African Americans. What makes African Americans blood donors, I understand, a better match for patients?
Correct. So it is approximately 1 in 3 African American or Black donor is a compatible match to a sickle cell patient. And it is that importance of that blood compatibility so that the patient that receives the donation, it's a better match and better fit for the patient.
Got it. And Deborah, quick question. Can you get infections or diseases at all from, and you know, you hear that sometimes from people, they're a little hesitant, but can you get any type of infections or disease donating blood?
No, because we use all sterile equipment and the needle is only used once, making a donation is extremely safe.
Good. All right. We like to hear that. And just finally, Deborah, as we, February now, just how, again, its significance and how important it is to get the message out there and, have people perhaps if they haven't donated before to please donate to the American Red Cross because I know you all do fantastic work. Just talk about the importance again.
Yeah, the important of donating blood is something that cannot be made, and it requires donors to donate. Something that most people don't realize is that, if only 3% of the population actually donates blood, who is it qualified to donate. So the important part of that is that we need to get out there and really support our community because we kind of take it for granted that we think blood is going to be available in hospitals. And if we're not out there and giving blood, it may not be available for us when we need it. So, really, if you can get out there, donate, support people who are in need of blood. The great thing is that, when you sign up with the blood donor app, we can actually tell you where your blood goes so you can see what a difference it's made. And that is really a great feeling.
Yeah, and you're saving lives while you're at it, perhaps up to 3 lives with one donation. That is really incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Lynn, Deborah, I really appreciate both of you taking some time as we get the word out for blood donations, especially in the month of February in the thick of winter. Best of luck, and thank you very much for spreading the message and making everybody aware. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us, Chris.
You bet.